Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Happy Wednesday to all of you. I hope that you're having a good week so far, ladies and gentlemen. Before I forget, we will have a special live stream tomorrow on Thursday at 11 a.m. Alaska time, which makes it 3 p.m. Eastern time. I have a lot of news for you today, ladies and gentlemen, so let's start off with this. China continues buying U.S. goods, agricultural goods, after the Taiwan visit. An AG economist says the recent strain on U.S.-Chinese relations because of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan hasn't stopped the trading partner from buying U.S. AG products. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Why would they? They've got a good thing here. You know, China sells us junk, they sell us trinkets, and in return, they get our fake paper on top of real stuff, food. But the University of Missouri's Ben Brown is urging caution. We're encouraging China to diversify and build up their own grain production, he said. Right now, we are playing this card game of you need us. And in my opinion, they really don't. And he continues to say, it may not be that far down the road that they don't need us, at least not to the degree that they do now. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're continuing to ship China our grains. The reason why we don't really have a choice here in the U.S. is because of how much dependency we have on China. So in a way, it's a two-way dependency thing, right? They need us because we grow a lot of food and they need a lot of food, and we need them because they build those things that we ourselves no longer build here in the United States of America. What happens when China has diversified away from the United States? That's the real question here that I have. Is what happens when China no longer needs our food because they can get it elsewhere or grow their own? Well, where are we going to get the stuff that we need in order to run our economy? That is why we must bring manufacturing back to the United States, and in a hurry. And I'm going to cover this very lightly, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third world. We all know that we live in a banana republic, right, ladies and gentlemen? We live in a banana republic. And with all due respect to those of you that, I know we have a lot of new subscribers here. I am who I am. And ladies and gentlemen, comes off the tip of my tongue very easily. And that's because I have respect for those of you that are taking the time to watch this. But that is who I am. And I'm not going to consciously try to stop saying it. I'm going to say it as it comes naturally. All right. So I hope you understand. And if you don't, then I understand. All right. So anyways, we do live in a third world country. And here it says, we've reached the stage of American history where everything we see on the news must be first understood as political theater. In other words, the messaging layer of news now almost always dominates the factual narrative, meaning that they would rather feed you the propaganda than to actually feed you the facts, which, in my opinion, the news is supposed to be factual and not opinionated. I think that's how it works, or is supposed to work. And they say, with the latter often reported so unreliably as to be meaningless anyways, meaning that the truth is almost never reported in the news as we see it today. However, people still consume it. People still believe it, right? Why? Because people don't go out there and do a little bit of their own research. Even the stuff that I read off for you and the opinions that I give you here on these videos that I do, you should still go out and look for it yourself. Look for yourself so that you can convince yourself. Don't let me convince you. Convince yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. And you have the power to do so. If you're watching this video right now, you have the power to do your own research. Yesterday's sensational tale of the F followed by the B followed by the I raiding the Mar-a-Lago home of the former president is no different. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to take us down a hole where it's going to take a lot for us to climb out of as a nation. When the government and government agencies give themselves this much power as of to raid the home of a former president, especially when they don't have a crime. This is what I understand. They went in there looking for a crime, not because a crime was committed. And what you have to understand is this. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're in, all right? So don't bring that into this. What you have to understand is this, is that when they can do that to a former president, a recent former president, What do you think your rights mean? What rights do you think you, as a lowly, subservient citizen, has? And this is the real reason why they raided Mar-a-Lago in this op-ed. They aren't going after the former president because he is guilty and everyone else in Washington is innocent. Name me one person in Washington that is innocent. No one is. Name me one person in the United States of America that is innocent. No one is. Why? Because they've made it so that no one can be innocent of anything. There's over 300,000 laws on the books in the United States of America. Over 300,000. Do you know them all? This is the system they've created. I forgot who said this, the quote, "Find me the man and I'll find you the crime." Everyone is guilty of something or another, either small or big. Rather, they are going after the former president because they think that they have found a way to keep him from ever running for president again. That is very dangerous to our democracy. You remember that video that was out on YouTube here a while back where all of the news stations were mocking the exact same phrase over and over thousands of times? That is very dangerous to our democracy. Unfortunately, they don't understand that we have a republic. I put up a video about this yesterday. It's on Rumble. You can go check it out there if you'd like. It's already up, so you can go check that video out if you like. I actually premiered it here, but then decided to just go ahead and put it on Rumble alone. In the future, ladies and gentlemen, whenever I put up a video that is somewhat suspect, that it may not do very well on YouTube, if you know what I mean, I'll just go ahead and put it up on my alternate platform, which is Rumble, and then I'll just let you know, hey, go take a look at this video that I just put up. It's going to be on Rumble, and I'll probably put out like a 5-10 minute video giving you pretty much what it's about. That way you can go and check it out if you want. Raining taxpayer money. Ukraine gets another $1 billion in arms, more for arms, plus $4.5 billion for budget needs. Must be nice, ladies and gentlemen. It must be nice. There's nothing specific about this article that I wanted to go ahead and cover, but here it says, how's it going? Another $1 billion to Ukraine, and now 87,000 new IRS agents to go after the middle class and the poor. And this is an opinion, of course, but this is probably why they need that 87,000 new IRS agents. How are we going to collect the money to send to other countries? Well, pretty soon it's going to be a lot easier for Australia to collect money from their citizens. And I'm predicting that here within the next couple of years, I think probably by 2027 at the very latest, we will have the same thing here in the United States. I think it'll take a little longer in the U.S. Hopefully it never comes to fruition. But Australia's central bank is working with the Bank for International Settlements to launch digital currency systems. And I'm sure you've seen that clip 1,000 times. I put it up several times on other videos where I believe it's the president of the Bank for International Settlements. He's a Hispanic guy. I forget what his name is. But he pretty much says that the reason that we need a worldwide CBDC is for what? In order to control the people, in order to have control over the money that is issued over that CBDC, in order to be able to make that money programmable, meaning that if they don't want you to get a burger this month, you're not going to get one because no one's going to be able to sell it for you because you won't be able to use your CBDC to get it. Well, Australia, here, they're going the way of China, and it looks to me like they're probably going to succeed because everything they've tried so far as manipulating their public into doing whatever they want them to do has occurred. Not putting down Australia for this, all right? Absolutely not, because the same thing has pretty much happened here in the United States of America. It seems that people are awake everywhere, but the monsters called government have grown so big that it's going to take a really big fight in order to overcome this monster that we've allowed to blow up as big as it has. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer gives the thumbs up as he leaves the Senate chamber after passing the Inflation Reduction Act on Sunday. Now, we all know that the Inflation Reduction Act was passed, right? Anyone that watches the news or even watches any of these videos know that they passed this Inflation Reduction Act, which is supposed to fight inflation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. I was wrong. I was like, this is going to create more inflation, not take away inflation. And look at this. U.S. consumer price inflation slows in July. Just a few days after they passed the act, and we already got a lower price inflation all right, in the CPI. I know I am being hyperbolic and sarcastic, all right, because this is a lagging indicator, the CPI is. But here it says, while economists expected another modest rise in inflation on month-over-month basis, it is far below than the 1.3% surge in June. The headline U.S. CPI was expected to slow from 9.1, which is what it was the month before last in June, to 8.7% year over year in July. But it actually slowed significantly more than expected to 8.5% year over year. And it's flat month over month, meaning that inflation stabilized month over month, but we're still at about 8.5% year over year. To give you a quick overview of what that means, it means that at this time in the month of July last year, we are paying more, or we paid more in general for everything in the month of July this year than we did last year by 8.5%. And when they say that the month of July was flat, it means that there was not an increase within the month of July. So when you take all of the months prior to July, January through June, and you add the increase monthly together, it will add up to 8.5. So now going forward for August, September, October, November, December, we have to add the increase on a monthly basis to that 8.5, and at the end of the year it will tell us what our annual inflation was. It'll probably be something like 10 to 12% is what I'm guessing, if not a little bit more. I do believe that after the elections are done this November, that things will continue to shoot up. All right, that fuel and everything will continue to shoot up. We're going into winter, and things are going to get a lot worse, in my opinion, during this winter. Why? Because the elections are going to be over. The government right now is trying to do everything that it can do to try to make things look good. Why do you think they're draining our supply, our reserves of oil? Now, why do you think they're doing that? They're trying to keep gas prices a little bit down. So take advantage of this time, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of this time, because things are going to get more expensive month after month, year over year for a long time. Let me go ahead and give you a better explanation as to what 8.5% inflation is. All right, so take a look at this. All right, this is what you started with last July. Last July, you had this right here, okay? You had a full $100 bill. This $100 bill can buy you $100 worth of stuff, okay? I almost did a payday prep video the day before yesterday because I had to go to the store, and when I came home, I looked at the box, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was $126. And I looked at the items that I had, and it wasn't a lot of items. It was probably about, 8, 9 items in there. I was like, that was $126. And let me tell you why that was $126. Because last year, what this $100 could buy you, this year in July, it could buy you this much. What happened to this? What happened to this piece that fell off, the 8.5%? So July of last year, you had this much to work with as far as purchasing power. July of this year, all you have is this. What happened to this right here? Well, I'll tell you what happened to this. All of the other $100 bills that they created out of thin air, they were never worked into existence. Nobody ever earned it. The government just created it. It was just created into thin air. When I say the government, I mean the government by borrowing, the Federal Reserve, the banks, etc. Okay? They just created out of thin air. So if the newly created notes that they made out of thin air were not worked into a system, somebody did not work, did not labor for it, then where did it get its value from? Where did this get its value from? Well, this from here right here. Because this is yours. This is the one you worked for. And after they finished printing all of the hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, right? You ended up with this. Why? Because they needed to take this piece off of yours in order to give value to all of the other ones. That is why you lose purchasing power. That is why we have inflation the way that we have it. I hope you understand that. I've tried to put that message out in as many different ways as I can. why it is that you lose purchasing power. And I hope that in all of the different ways that I put it out, that some people are understanding it, of why it is that they're losing money and why it is that your labor, your time is stolen from you every time that the government says they're going to do quantitative easing, stimulus, money printing, inflation, all that kind of stuff. It's all the same. It's just a theft of your labor, a theft of your time. But worry not, ladies and gentlemen, because the fact checkers have spoken. We are not in a recession. We are not in a recession. I would say, let me go ahead and put my opinion on that. I would say that if you still have a job, then you're not in a recession. If you've lost your job, you're in a depression. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's just an old, dumb joke that economists use. But if you can't see with your eyes what's going on there, even if you're making $500,000 a year, right? Even if you're making $500,000 a year, I'm sure that you can see with your eyes what's going on. And you can see that what we are being told is not what's actually happening. So learn to think for yourselves. Don't take anything at face value. You can't even take this at face value. What makes you think that the people that are issuing this, what makes you think that you can take what they say at face value? And to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen, GOP warns that thousands of new IRS agents will target the middle class Americans, by the way. The bill known as the Inflation Reduction Act was approved in a 51-50 vote as the vice president served as the tiebreaker for the Dems. A provision includes the hiring of 87,000 agents, a move that was defended by the Dems, who said that the funding would target people who cheat on their taxes. If Congress, the Senate, whoever, if they wanted to hire enough agents to target those who cheated on their taxes, all they needed to do was hire 537 new agents. That would have been enough. I don't understand why they had to go with 87,000. And they say here, this is their quote, "Millions of Americans aren't going to be impacted by that, other than getting better service from the IRS, having their telephones answered, and getting the questions they need in order to comply with," this is a key word. Please understand this. With our tax laws. When they say our, they don't mean you and me. We're the ones that have to follow those tax laws. If not, we end up in an 8x8 jail cell, and you know that's the truth. When they say our, I mean those 535 and the elites that have them in their pockets. I don't think anyone can contest that. But of course, that's just my opinion. Okay, YouTube, it's just my opinion. The auditing is going to be focused on those of high income, the large corporations. Like I said, don't ever trust the people, or don't put faith in the same people that tell you that this is money. Don't put trust in people that tell you that this is money. This has never, first of all, never been money. At the very best, when this was used as currency before 1971, yes, it was currency because it was backed up by gold. Whenever a bill like this is backed up by something, meaning that you can go to the bank, turn it in, and get something else for this, like gold. When you go to the bank and turn this in for something else, it's just for different bills. You can replace it with the same bill. Say, hey, let me get a new 100 because this one's old. Or you can say, let me get 250s or 520s, etc. You can only replace this, turn it into a bank to get something similar to this. So this is fiat currency. It has not been currency for decades. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But these people that supposedly govern our economy, that govern our country, they still call this money. When in all actuality, all it is a debt note that was designed to steal your future. Let me finish it off with some good news, as I covered in the beginning of the video. I think I covered this in the beginning of the video. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we are going to have a special live stream at 11 a.m. Alaska time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it is going to be a Thursday live stream for those of you that are Alaska Prepper community members that cannot attend the Sunday live streams. I'm going to have it on Thursday in hopes that we can get some of you out there that haven't had a chance to enter for a $100 Visa gift card to be entered. You have to be in the live stream in order to be entered, but we're doing Christmas in August this year because I want to be able to give back to the community now and give back in a form of cash that you can use to put towards your prep. So hope to see you there. Other than that, I hope that you have a great day today. I may have a second video today. I'm working on a review video of a new solar generator that I've been testing. So I may have that video out today. If not, probably have it out tomorrow. Having said that, have a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I am out.